My name is Patrick York. I was born in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I live here in Vancouver, BC, and I like living here. I've developed blindness from the time when I was a kid, and it has majorly affected the way I get around. I have to heavily rely on transit, friends, walking, and the handy dart to get to my appointments. What I struggle with the most is keeping with handy dart's timing and getting to where I'm going with the right directions. I'm a fan of many sports, and I've competed for Canada in the Paralympics in the swimming, running, and wrestling events. Now, I like staying active, and I enjoy going for walks with my dog Garcia, who helps me out a lot when I need it. I enjoy walking around the neighborhood and meeting with some of my friends who are nearby and going to some of the shops. It is important to me that my brother or somebody else accompany me in the beginning as I get used to the neighborhood. I can keep a good inventory of what is around me. I rely on handy dart to get me to my important appointments, like with the doctor. I remember having to make an appointment at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and I knew I should have booked with them a week ago, because now I would be stuck with bad timing. The handy dart would arrive at 10:30 a.m., and I would have to be several hours early for my doctor's visit. I was dropped off at the doctor's office at the west end of Vancouver, and since I didn't know the area well, I had to wait for the next few hours in the office. As I got closer to my appointment time, I began to get nervous, because if I missed the handy dart, I would have to reschedule. I finished with the doctor and sat in the lobby, and after a while I heard somebody come in. It felt like the driver of the handy dart, but I wasn't sure, so I didn't say anything. The man left, and after a while I called handy dart to see what had happened. The woman told me I'd missed my appointment. She said I had to wait outside by the designated stop, but it was raining and I didn't want to wait long. When I finally boarded the handy dart, I became frustrated because I knew the neighborhood and felt the driver was taking the wrong way back. After pulling out of Oak Ridge Mall, where we made a pickup, the driver insisted on going south on Cambie, when I knew he could have turned left and got us back faster. After a little while, after not being able to trace where we were, I asked the driver about our location, and he replied Victoria and 40th, which is close to where I live. A woman next to me leaned over and said we were on Fraser Street. I finally arrived home, but I was exhausted. I'd spent 5 hours just to get to a doctor's appointment. I realize this isn't always the case for handy dart, but I wish their schedule was more flexible and that they would plan routes ahead of time.